Hello everybody and welcome to episode 12 of Zack Plays Steins Gate. Last time we left off, we had received the IBN 5100, we had filled in Kurisu on everything that has happened, both with the experiments trying to duplicate the results and also with hacking CERN. Now we are going to look at the Jellyman's report, which I have speculated is going to be the record or the lab results or whatever you want to call it of human experimentation. And my prediction is, since it's called Jellyman report, is that they're having the same issue that we're having with bananas, but it's jellifying humans instead of bananas. That's my prediction. So I just wanted to put that out there at the beginning because we all know that I'm gonna be right, hopefully, and I can rub that in a little. So, let's take a look at that Jellyman report. Things are starting to get juicy, and we are finally past the point of no return. After we look at this Jellyman's report, it's all, downhill. I'm guessing it's going to go downhill because he has made it very explicit that there's no going back after this. Alright, let's begin. Kurisu gives the seat to Daru. Henceforth, this shall be known as Operation Legion's Chest. I totally butchered that. I know. I apologize. Why Norse mythology?
Is that Norse mythology? Because it's cool, I guess.
Anyway, what is it with men and military terms? Daru, begin the operation! He soon finds the Jellyman's report. It required a second password authentication, which Daru broke through easily.
Ready? I'm opening it.
Daru looks at me and Kurisu. I wet my parched lips and nod. The air in the lab suddenly seems thicker. Unable to escape through the closed window, it surrounds us with an oppressive heat. Daru wipes the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief, then timidly presses the enter key. The file opens. At first glance, it looks like a resume. There's a photograph on the top right. The top left has name, age, height, weight, and other information. In the center is a long string of English text. Underneath that, there's something attached like a scan of a newspaper clipping with a black and white photo. And then I know exactly what the Jellyman in Jellyman's report means. Hey, we were right. Jellyman's report 10. Look at that, dude. That's a jellified human right there. He is jelly. A man in wall appears in New York. The identity of a man from whom... Oh, okay, well, I'm sure she'll read that. But that's definitely going to be thumbnail, probably. Sorry about the thumbnail for last episode. We didn't actually have a thumbnail in the video, so instead, Kurisu got a lab coat, so I just looked up Kurisu in lab coat, and I used that. I used a fan-drawn image for the thumbnail. I apologize. I know, it's sort of dishonest. Whenever I make a Let's Play, I try and always make the thumbnail something from the video, but there was nothing that I could use, so I had to do that. I'm sorry. Subject, James McCarthy, age 31, American. Z program stage 4, date of experiment 2005, January 28th. Kurisu bends over Daru's shoulder, reading the contents out loud. Oh no, he's gonna get a nosebleed or something. Results error. Human is dead. Mismatch.
That again.
It is believed that due to infinite compression of supergravity, the subject could not endure passage through the singularity inside the Kerr black hole. April 3rd, 1921, New York City. An unidentified man was discovered dead in an alleyway off Union Square. The right half of his body was embedded in a nearby wall. It sounds like Kurisu is reading the newspaper article at the end. So he traveled through time, and then when he came out, he was inside a wall? The man's body was completely jellified. Oh, spooky. It's the end of chapter 2. Oh boy. Butterfly affects divergence. Great, that means we're gonna get into some serious time travel, and we're gonna start having the butterfly effect. Uh-oh. That probably means we're gonna time travel in some shape or form. The ticking of the clock is like a hammer inside my head. It's past 2 a.m. The window is closed and the lab is silent, but for the humming of the computer. We stare at the gruesome image displayed on the monitor. Speechless. I was right. We're in too deep. I half expect guys in black suits and sunglasses to kick down the door and drag us off to a secret military prison. Better make sure the door's locked.
What's going on here?
Daru breaks the silence with a disbelieving whisper.
They jellified someone?
Upon hearing the familiar word jellified, I reflexively look at the bunch of bananas placed next to the computer. There's only one banana left. We didn't have a single successful experiment today, so none of them were jellified. But I don't think this is a mere coincidence. The jellified bananas produced by the phone wave, and the jellified corpses produced by CERN's experiments. They seem identical in nature. They're experimenting on people. Kadisu speaks calmly, despite her grim expression. I can read, sometimes. Let me warm up, guys. It only takes me a minute or two to warm up. Let me warm up, don't worry. Or in this case, it takes me 6.5 minutes or two to warm up. She doesn't even avert her eyes from the gruesome image. And this means they've created a time machine, doesn't it? Even if it's not perfect. Huh? I'm still in shock, so I don't quite grasp the meaning of Carisi's words. Yeah, because the news article is from the past, right? This New York Times article is from 1921. 90 years ago. Look, Karisu points to parts of the black and white photograph, her finger shaking slightly. No, that's a better thumbnail, right? That's a better thumbnail. Boom! Spooky. Creepy. Scary. Ooh. The jellified corpse of a man, she's pointing to his shoulder, which has writing on it. Perhaps it was printed on his clothes. It's fused onto the jellified body, but you can somehow manage to read it. CERN.
So, CERN used the LHC to send someone back to 1921?
Looks like they failed to keep him alive, though. Is this the only report?
No, there's more. Looks like 14 people in total.
Jesus Christ. More jellymen? That means more jellified people, more victims of human experimentation? I swallow hard. Oh my. I'm awfully thirsty. I take a cold Dr. Pepper out of the fridge and wet my throat. Show me the others. Daru pulls up another report. Without being told to, Kadisu begins translating out loud. Jellyman's Report 9. Subject Daniel Straysky, age 26, Canadian. No, not the Canadians! They're involved as well! No! It truly is the end of times. No. This one isn't in English, though. This one is in, Francais. Francais. Probably French Canadians. Goddamn French Canadians. Z Program 4, date of experiment 2004, October 30th? Yeah. Results error, human is dead, mismatch. The newspaper clipping, I think it's in French, I can't read it. You can read the date though, January 31st, 2001. The location is Pau, France, I guess. 2001, that's fairly recent. A pretty big difference from James McCarthy, who jumped nearly 70 years back in 1921. Daru calls up a machine translation, giving us the following. January 31st, 2001. Collapsed male corpse discovered in forest outside Pau, France. Its left foot was fused to a tree trunk and the body had jellified. What's with everything like being fused to structures? Daru goes to the next report. Jellyman's Report 8. Subject Linda Hill, age 25, British. Z Program 4, date of experiment 2004, February 15th. Results, error, human is dead, mismatch. October 2nd, 1972, the jellified body of a woman was discovered on the streets of Dharmapuri in Tamil Nadu, India. There are signs that the body had been run over by a car. Dara goes to the next page. Jellyman's Report 7. Subject Michael Lang, age 33, German. Z Program 4, date of experiment 2002, October 8th. One day before my birthday. Results error, human is dead, mismatch. The article clipping is written in Japanese. Looks like a pre-war newspaper. May 24th, 1936. That's pretty far back. The corpse of what is believed to be a jellified human was discovered at the base of Mount who knows, in Kyoto. It was in a damaged state, possibly from having slid down the slope. It even happened in Japan. I've never heard this story before. It was pre-war though, so I guess someone born in the 90s like me would have no way of knowing about it. Next page. The picture shows a beach, beautiful, but for the jellyfish-like body lying on the sand. Must have been washed ashore. Jellyman's Report 6. Subject Mark Hughes, age 30, American. Z Program 4, date of experiment 2002. The 8/23. I can't think of what 8 is right off the top of my head. August maybe? I don't know. I'm just thinking right off the top of my head. Result error. Human is dead. Mismatch. On July 1st, 1985. So decent ways back. Not too far back. A strange body washed ashore on the coast of Streymoy, Faroe Islands. It appeared to be the body of an adult male, but its flesh was soft like that of a jellyfish. Some of the island's inhabitants believed that it was the body of a merman. The inscription, CERN, was found near this body's shoulder, but CERN denies any involvement. Yeah, how do you let them get away with that, right? Like, their name is right on it. On all of these bodies, but no one's, like, drawing the connection that CERN has anything to do with this, really? It's a little sketchy.
Keep looking.
I've seen enough. There are 14 of these people. The sites are spread throughout the world. What can we deduce from this? They must have sent them to those places. I don't think so. It's too random.
There was something about curved black holes and gravity, right? Isn't that the cause?
It is believed that due to the infinite compression by supergravity, the subject would not endure the passage through the curved black hole's singularity. That's what it said.
What's a curved black hole? Is it different from a regular black hole?
Thank you, asking the questions that us normal people are wondering. It's a theoretical black hole with a rotating singularity. Their existence hasn't been proven yet. Not that there's any way to prove one exists. But there is, because they can make them. So... Curved black hole, where have I heard that term before? John Titor said that his time machine ran on curved black holes. Used curved black holes. That's right. John Titor! Titor said his time machine used curved black holes. According to Titor, CERN finished their time machine in 2034, and then Titor himself came from 2036. It makes sense for Titor and CERN to be using the same time travel technology. Kurisu, it's important to note right now that Kurisu, we have not told her that we have a lot of this information from John Titor, because we think that she would believe that we're insane for listening to some random dude on @channel, which is the equivalent of Reddit. You know, we're basically listening to some fucking crazy anonymous dude on Reddit saying that he's a time traveler. You know, so we haven't told her that that's where we're getting a lot of our information, because we think that she will think that we are insane. Which, right now, she's probably gonna think that we're insane. Kurisu closes her eyes in deep thoughts. Creating curved black holes? That's insane. If you screw up, it could swallow the Earth. And besides, curved black holes are just a theoretical construct. If Titor's predictions are a reality, then that means the LHC worst case scenario video on YouTube was right. YouTube, I'm guessing it's a wannabe YouTube.
I don't know about Titor's predictions, but I've seen the problem video before. It was on the news 2 or 3 years ago.
The gravitational forces inside a black hole are unbelievably powerful. It's certainly possible that passing through one could allow time displacement, but there's no way a human could do that and come out alive. That must be how these people got jellified. It wouldn't just jellify you. It would tear you apart particle from particle. That's what a black hole does.
Before we discuss this, shouldn't we look through the rest of the time machine research?
Daru's already started pulling up new documents. I'm suddenly afraid. Is it okay to keep hacking CERN like this? Should I stop him? I'm the one who asked him to do it, but things have gotten serious now. But at the same time, irresistible curiosity wells up inside me. Time travel is becoming a reality. I want to know that it's true. I can't stop now.
Here we go. There's a file in the Z program that explains time travel theory.
That was pretty easy to find. CERN should have better security.
Their security's fine. I'm just too good.
They keep giving us all sorts of red flags that this is way too easy. IBM 5100 was just given to us on a golden platter. You know, it's like, things are going too good. So either somebody has traveled back in time from the future in order to facilitate us finding this information. Maybe John Titor has come back from the future in order to facilitate us. Maybe, you know, he knows us from the future and we're like part of the resistance or something like that. I don't know. But maybe he's coming back from the future and he's kind of laid out all this stuff so we would get the IBM 5100, so we could get all of this stuff. But everything's too easy. Or the alternate possibility is that we're being set up, and for some reason CERN is allowing us to find this information so they can screw us over. You know, maybe so they can pin a bunch of stuff on us. I don't know what they get out of this, but everything is too easy. Daru is my favorite right arm. I thought he was your super hacker.
Hacker.
So, what does it say, Christina? This is in English too, so I have no choice but to rely on my assistant. Can you give me some time to read it? Kadisa's eyes dot left and right across the lines. Her earlier reluctance has vanished. It looks like she's as curious as I am. No way, but this is a quick save. That's what it is. It's a quick save. Is Titor really... What are you muttering about? Tell me what it says. Oh, right. You know, this feels like one big joke. What do you mean? It's almost the same as Titor's theory. So she is an Aunt Chandler and she is reading Titor's stuff. Basically, the LHC smashes protons together at 99.9999991% the speed of light. By doing so, they compress a mass of 10 to the negative 24th kilograms into an extremely tiny space of 10 to the power of negative 19 meters.
In Japanese, please. 3 lines max.
A small mass. Thrust into a narrow space. With great force. That explanation's too vague.
That explanation's too erotic.
Huh? What part of it is Ah! Hashida, you pervert.
Sounds like you have a pretty good imagination yourself.
I'm not like you. Her blushing cheeks make her denial less than effective. Don't listen to this fool, Christina. Continue. What were we talking about?
Thrusting with great force.
Proton compression. Right, Successful compression generates a microsingularity, which...
Microsingularity? Not a mini black hole?
Same thing. Same thing, essentially. A singularity is the core of a black hole. This process generates a black hole with 2 microsingularities. A black hole with 2 cores? Like a cowlick with 2 hairs? No, I don't think that's it.
Explain with cute girls.
Fine. Say there are 2 cute girls, Meek-chan and Crow-chan.
Sisters are mowing.
By feeding Meek-chan and Crow-chan electrons, you can make them do whatever you want.
Electric shock torture? Is this some sort of eroge?
I don't know what that means. Short for erotic game. Games with erotic content. So, you force them to rotate at an extremely high velocity. And then, theoretically, Meek-chan and Crow-chan transform into magical girl ring singularity.
Cue stock transformation scene. Got it.
Well, it looks like these two have found a common wavelength. The resulting black hole exhibits what's called the Kerr effect.
What are Kerr black holes anyway? You said they spin, but what does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
But don't black holes usually spin? I mean, there's a whirlpool around the hole, right?
The part that looks like it's spinning is just the surrounding matter being sucked into the black hole. A black hole is just a point where extreme mass causes gravitational collapse. Everything falls towards it. Since it's only a point, it doesn't spin. A Kerr black hole has a ring at its center, not a point. Think of it like this. Once transformed into magical girls, Meek-chan and Crow-chan's hearts spin like a ring inside their bodies, which is impossible for normal people.
I'll pass on the girl.
Before, you said that such black holes' existence would be impossible to prove. What did you mean? A black hole has what's called an event horizon. Once you pass the event horizon, time and space switch places. Time and space switch places? Right now, we can move freely through space and into the future, but we can't move even 1 minute into the past. That becomes reversed. On the other side of the event horizon, moving freely through space becomes impossible, while moving freely through time becomes possible. Interesting. I can't even imagine what that's like. Since unrestricted spatial movement is impossible, you can never escape a black hole. For example, if Okabe jumped into a black hole, time for him would stretch to infinity. Since light cannot escape, human eyes cannot see the other side of the event horizon. Observing a black hole from the outside is impossible, so nothing about the inside can be proven. See, this is why I was never a fan of physics, because you'll hear people say this all the time. They'll say, oh, science is nothing but theories. Science is nothing but theories. You hear a bunch of religious people saying that all the time. They'll say, well, you can't prove anything. Science is all theories. Nothing about it is concrete. There's a difference between theoretical science and actual science. You know, there's two groups of science, and a lot of physics fall into that theoretical science realm that I'm really not a fan of, where sure, it's fun every now and then to think about, and stuff like time travel is very interesting to think about, but that stuff doesn't really, seem practical to me. It seems sort of like a waste of time to me to think about all of this stuff, since it can't be proven, since it's all theory. That's why I'm more of like a chemistry and a biology kind of guy, because I study the stuff that's there in front of me, that exists, that I can see, that's palpable, that's real, you know? So all of this stuff is just super theory. This is the definition of theoretical science, basically. There is an exception, however. This exception is vital when you use a Kerr black hole for time travel. Get to the point. The Kerr black hole's ring singularity, since it's spinning, it has angular momentum.
Like I said, in Japanese, please.
Didn't I already explain how the core spins? Just think of that as having momentum. If you keep giving Meat-chan and Crow-chan electrons, they'll rotate faster and faster. And when their angular momentum exceeds a certain threshold, the event horizon will disappear, and the singularity will become a naked singularity. Ooh.
The naked? You mean the magical girl costumes expose a lot of skin, right? When does the anime adaptation air?
Kurisu and I ignore Dora's nonsense. Naked, you mean it becomes observable. When the event horizon disappears, there's no more reason for time and space to change places, meaning that you can enter a naked singularity without being trapped. And then the existence of the naked singularity allows the principle of causality to be violated and the general theory of relativity to fail. The laws of physics are broken. Can such a thing exist? The negation of the theory of relativity and the principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Kurisu say that earlier? Nothing in principle stops Kerr black holes from existing. It seems inconsistent, but the math never lies. Since the principle of causality fails, it would be possible to travel to the past by entering a naked singularity. John Titor said the same thing. So Titor's time machine is using CERN's technology, but Titor's time machine was compact, small enough to fit into a car. The LHC is 27 kilometers long, but they managed to get it down to travel size in just 24 years. One thing I don't understand is how they inject electrons into the singularity. Look, this is a picture of the LHC, but there's strange equipment installed at the proton collision site. It looks like they call it a lifter, but just what is it? Daru, have you heard of it?
Lifter. Oh, I think I saw that in the Z program files. Wanna Google it?
Daru opens a browser window and enters lifter into the search engine.
We've got hits.
About 422,000 results. That many? I guess it's not a secret. Could this be it? Oh, could this be it? Ionocraft? Ions are charged particles. The meaning matches. We click on a link that says Ionocraft, Lifter. It takes us to a video. Lifter technology, demonstration and explanation. YouTube. They don't even hide that it's supposed to be YouTube with the red logo. Looks like some dim garage. But it doesn't seem like anything secretive, just a garage like you'd see in an average American home. At the center of the screen is a triangular shape made of some kind of metal. It looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. It's connected to some sort of generator by a thin wire. Looks like some really cheap equipment. That's all there is, nothing else. After explaining something in some language I don't understand, Russian, maybe? The person filming the video slowly turns the power on, and then...
It's floating.
The silvery triangle floats soundlessly into the air. Then it remains stationary. That's an anti-gravity device! No, it's not. It's probably just using electricity or something. Don't be ridiculous, that would be the breakthrough of a century. It's called an ionocraft, so it probably has something to do with electrodes and charged air. Yep. Kurisu doesn't sound as confident as she usually does. We look up information on the Ionocraft lifter. Hey, it's good that at least even Kurisu doesn't know some things, right? She doesn't know everything. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since the sites all give conflicting theories. CERN is using this lifter technology. It's a vital component of their time machine. If they can manipulate a microsingularity's mass and gravitational field, then these things really are anti-gravity devices. Well, under those exact conditions, I guess you might not be entirely wrong. Incredible! My curiosity's growing more by the second. But it looks like CERN's having trouble adjusting their lifter. They don't have full control over the microsingularity's gravity, so they can't make true naked singularity. That must be the reason why the subjects turned into jellymen. Kurisu nods. Since the singularity is still closed, the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. I gotta drink, guys. My throat's dying. It's smoothie. Strawberry banana smoothie. Okay, I'm ready. As a result, substances become fractalized. Let's go with that hypothesis. Of course, there's no way to be sure that it's right. It might take months to prove. Kurisu shrugs his shoulders in resignation. So, CERN's lifter is still incomplete. If Titor is telling the truth, then CERN won't complete the time machine for another 24 years. If we can complete the phone wave first, then we'll have outwitted CERN. We don't have half the equipment or funding CERN does. What makes you think we can solve the problem that they can't? This isn't that simple. CERN still hasn't figured out how to set the subject's destination in time or space. That should be evident by how scattered the Jellyman discoveries were. We don't even know if this is all of them. There could be Jellymen buried underground or floating in space. Actually, I'm almost certain there are. There's no point traveling through time if you end up tens of thousands of kilometers away from the Earth. It's not practical at all. That's why we don't time travel using people. We time travel using text messages. Duh! Titor said he had a variable gravity lock system. He can use that to lock onto the Earth's gravity and ensure he arrives somewhere on the planet's surface. Titor's explanation on that point was vague. He mentioned having such a device, but he didn't explain how it worked.
But if you're only moving through time, won't you just arrive in the same location?
No, because the Earth moves. Duh. Of course not.
Why not?
Because the Earth is always moving. Right, rotation and revolution. See, I fucked that so hard. That's what I meant to do. I fucked that so hard. Let's drop a save before we check this textual message from Ferris. Have you bought Phantasm's debut single? Yeah? It's a theme song for Rainet Keikaru, so it's really popular. Ferris bought 5 copies, yeah? It's my duty as a Rainetter. Anyway, there's an important secret hidden in Phantasm songs. The key to unlocking it is, oops, the bell's ringing, yeah? Looks like someone's here. Better see who it is. We're not gonna reply to Ferris because she's absolutely insane, and I don't want to encourage her crazy behavior. If you don't like somebody, then just don't message them, guys. Like, let me give you a real quick life lesson. If you don't like somebody, stop treating them really, really nice. You know, stop being polite. Just ignore them, and they will get the picture. All right. I have this freaking chick who she will message me. She'll like start messaging me for like a couple weeks, and then she'll stop messaging me for an entire month. And then she'll randomly send me a message. Oh, hey, how's it going? And so, after like the 3rd time of that, I'm just like, no, I'm done. You do your thing. I don't know if you want to talk to me. I don't know if you like me. I don't know if you don't like me. But I'm done with it. It's, nope, goodbye. And now, I think we both are under the same impressions of each other. We're just gonna move on with life. That's the key. It's the key. So hopefully Ferris will leave us the fuck alone. That's what that tangent was about. The Earth's rotational velocity is about 1,650 kilometers per hour. Its orbital velocity around the sun is about 114,000 kilometers per hour. Meaning 1 hour ago, we were that far away from where we are now.
Whoa. When you think about it like that, we're earth-shatteringly fast.
And that's not all. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way spins like a giant whirlpool. There are various theories, but basically the Earth moves about 50 million kilometers a day. How could she roll all those numbers so smoothly off her tongue? I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. Has she been doing research on the topic?
We've kind of gotten to a ludicrous scale.
By the way, the Milky Way is part of a large cluster of galaxies, which is itself part of an even larger supercluster. And these clusters and superclusters might be moving too. If that's the case, we're moving even more than 50 million kilometers a day. The point is that setting the destination would require insane calculations, even if you only want to travel 1 second into the past. Doing it by hand is impossible, and it might take years for a supercomputer to come up with a solution, just to get you to the same location. Then we have no choice. We need to find Titor and borrow his variable gravity system. Great idea. Go for it. I wonder how CERN is dealing with this problem. After blowing me off, Kurisu goes back to reading CERN's documents. Daru and I aren't good with English, so there's nothing we can do but let her work. Interesting. We just gotta go downstairs and say, "Hey, Suzuha! So you're definitely John Titor, right? Yeah? Cool. Can you hook me up with that time machine?" Dawn breaks. We stayed up all night again. Fighting drowsiness, I fill my mug with instant coffee. I've already lost count of how many I've had. Okabe. Kurisu hands her mug to me without looking away from the computer. I guess she expects me to refill it. Since when did I become her maid? She should ask Mayuri for stuff like this. Mayuri's a professional maid, after all. That said, Kurisu's the one reading CERN's documents right now. Daru and I can manage if we use translation software, but we're nowhere near as efficient as she is. While it's not exactly what I had in mind when I said I wanted to borrow her knowledge, it just goes to show that I was right to make her a lab man. She's an asset to the lab. For now, at least. I should try not to upset her. I silently take the mug from Kurisu, dump in the powdered coffee, and pour in hot water from the pot. Ew, that sounds gross. 2 packets of sugar, no milk. Kurisu has already requested it the same way 5 times today. I mix it well. Alright, let's be real. 2 packets of sugar? That's it? Just like 2 baby packets of sugar? No cream? That doesn't change the taste of coffee at all. That's just like 2 packets of sugar wasted. That's not gonna change the coffee taste at all. It's still gonna be black coffee. I mix it well and bring it over to Kurisu. She doesn't immediately realize I'm standing behind her, so I hold the mug in front of her face. Kurisu takes it without turning. Thanks. Her eyes never leave the screen. She's completely absorbed in CERN's research. Even though she was adamant when she called them traitors to scientists everywhere, she's not above picking their brains. But I understand how she feels. I'm itching to know more myself. Daru is fast asleep on the sofa. His snoring is quite loud. Furthermore, it sounds like he has sleep apnea. I'm surprised Kurisu has been able to ignore it. Is she just that focused? I decided to watch some TV. As always, the news channels are all covering the Radio Kaiken satellite crash.
5 days have passed since the satellite crash, and with the start of summer vacation season, crowds are gathering to get a glimpse of the satellite, which still has not been removed.
I know it doesn't sound like a girl at all. Oh well. I come from Nagoya. I wanted to see it.
I drove all the way from Saitama. It's amazing. Where did that thing come from?
Yeah, I'm a high school girl from Chiba. Tourists are all over Japan. Tourists from all over Japan are flocking to this location.
In an interview earlier today, Michael Byron, spokesman for NASA, stated that no satellite had crashed in Japan and that the crashed object was, in fact, not even a satellite. The satellite is currently under police investigation. No date for removal has been set. Is it really under investigation? It's a time machine. It's a time machine. And not a satellite. How about that? This could be another plot by the organization. Oh no, this is not what my voice needs right now. Oh no.
Good morning. Oh wait, should I say good afternoon?
The door unlocks from outside and Mayuri comes in. She has a convenience store bag in hand. There are various food items inside, but it doesn't look like that for us.
Woo! The air in here is so thick!
Part-time warrior. I'm so hungry. I had to skip breakfast again today. I don't have much money on hand. Are there any good places to find insects or weeds around here? I could get by using my survival skills if I have to. What the hell? Survival skills? What kind of childhood did you have? Alright, we could say that. Or we can say... You eat insects? Hardcore. We'll say that. Actually, no. We'll go with the other one. We'll go with the other one because that's more probing, so we can find out more info. We can find out more info on Suzuha. And how she's actually John Titor confirmed. Yeah. Actually, John Titor confirmed. The three of us probably look pretty haggard since we stayed up all night, but it's hard to put on a bright smile now that I know about Sen.
I'll refresh the air!
Is that the right voice?
Doo-doo-doo!
Yeah, it is, okay. Mary opens the window wide. The sky is so blue it hurts my eyes. Large clouds listlessly. That's very difficult to say with that accent. Listlessly drift on the wind. It truly is a refreshing sight. Mayuri's appearance makes Daru get up with a grimace. Karisu also finally moves away from the computer, sipping her hot coffee while rubbing her eyes. I glance at the clock, then go to the center of the room and call for attention. Since all lab members are present and accounted for, this is the perfect opportunity to hold another roundtable conference. Yeah. She's always, like, mishearing everything.
Roundabout confluence?
What's that?
A meeting of lab members.
Have we ever done that before?
Do you even have a round table? Not physically, however, it exists in the hearts of all lab members. Am I mistaken? Yes, you're mistaken. Don't go sticking things in people's hearts.
Is there one in Mayushi too?
Of course there is.
Oh, that's good. But what's a round table?
A round table.
And why a round table? Are you King Arthur?
I'm only a temporary lab mem anyway. These people whine about every little thing. It's me! It's me! What? This could also be a thumbnail. Are we gonna go with this thumbnail or the spooky thumbnail? I don't even know. Spooky thumbnail is probably gonna be more clickbaity, right? Probably. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. I'll make that executive decision. Anyway, it's a roundtable conference. Mayuri wasn't here last night, so first let's explain the situation to her. I tell Mayuri about everything we discovered in her absence. About how Stern is making a time machine, about jelly men, about how Men in Black might be coming to erase us for what we know.
I told you that you shouldn't do bad things.
Bad, you say? We are bad? Absurd. If we're bad, then CERN is even worse. They aren't satisfied with ruling the world. Now they want to get their hands on space-time itself. I agree. For some reason, Karisu backs me up. What CERN is doing is unforgivable. They're traitors to humanity, to society, and to science.
I guess.
She doesn't sound convinced. I didn't want to get Mayuri involved, but she's surprisingly perceptive. She'd find out even if we kept it a secret, so it's better to just tell her. Anyway, Ragnarok can no longer be averted. The final battle with CERN is near. A large part of me is still afraid, but we've come too far to back down now. We can't unlearn what we know.
Ragnarok?
Norse mythology again? Christina! I ordered you to investigate CERN. What have you learned? I don't remember being ordered, but whatever. There are two problems CERN faces with time travel. First is the electron injection device, also known as the lifter. Unless they get it to function properly, they can't make the Kerr black hole singularities naked. If you send a test subject through the singularity in its current state, the supergravity compresses them into the micro level, and laterally there's no way to survive. The second problem is that they can't specify a physical destination. They can't choose where they end up after traveling to the past. That's why I'd say the 14 found jellymen were the lucky ones. How did they manage to send somebody back 90 years and he was still on Earth? Like, what the hell? How lucky? What are the odds of that happening? Those are so astronomically low. Over 100 human experiments have been performed since 2001. The remaining 80 or so people ended up somewhere they can't be found.
Why can't they be found?
Didn't you know, Mayushi? The world is constantly moving. Its rotational speed is 1,500 kilometers per hour. Its orbital speed's 114,000 kilometers per hour. The Darwin's tone is authoritative, but he's just relaying what he heard from Kadisi last night. CERN has been looking for solutions, but it's not going well. So even CERN is having difficulties. Now then, have you learned anything about what could help us complete the phone wave name subject to change? The reason that I say name subject to change sometimes and I don't say it other times is because when he's just thinking phone wave name subject to change, there's no reason for me to say name subject to change after it. But when he says it out loud, since he's actually saying it and that's what everybody's hearing and they might comment on why he's saying name subject to change, I say name subject to change. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, then just ignore it and be confused about why I randomly say it. Kurisu stares at the ceiling in thought. Well, I suppose you could call the LHC the world's largest microwave oven. Of course! In other words, the phone wave name subject to change is a miniature LHC. You might be onto something there. I was sure she'd deny it. In fact, I thought she'd yell at me. But instead, she agreed with me. Throws me off a little. I got a drink. Hopefully that wasn't really loud for you guys. If it was, I apologize. Problem with having like an actual dedicated microphone is that it can pick up the smallest shit. It picks up the little like taps on my desk and everything. Anyway. However, there are too many things we don't know about the phone wave. Why do the same phenomena that occur in CERN's time machine also occur in that tiny little microwave? Unlike the LHC, this thing wasn't made for time travel.
It was made to warm Miyuji's chicken!
What? Well, yeah. Since the Jellyman phenomenon occurs with the phone wave name subject to change, Mayuri's bananas must be reaching the Kerr black hole's ring singularity.
It makes a black hole? Here? It won't suck us in, will it?
If it sucked us in, we'd become jellymen too. But we still haven't figured out the electric discharge phenomenon or the conditions required to cause it.
During our experiments earlier, we were only able to send emails to the past during the discharge.
Although it hasn't happened again, that discharge phenomenon could very well signify the injection of charge, that is, electrons. And only when it occurs is the path to the singularity open. We don't know the cause of the discharge phenomenon. That's what we need to find out. In the first place, the emails we're sending to the past are digital data, not physical objects. That's a definite difference between CERN's time travel. No, we're doing the same thing. Who's to say that digital data can't go through a singularity? I think it would be easier than sending something human-sized. Well, I suppose that's true.
You know, the way you guys talk about email, it makes me think of folding a letter into a paper airplane and making it go zoom, you know?
It's more like a beam of light, like optical digital data. By the way, it's a pain to keep saying emails sent to the past. Let's give it a proper name. I've got a bad feeling about this. What's that supposed to mean? You dare mock Yuin Kuma? You just want to give it some oddball name, don't you? How rude. Heed me! I shall name the phenomenon of email sent to the past as follows. The name shall be Nostalgia Drive. Confusing. Rejected. Why you? Who gave you the authority to reject my ideas? Ow, I just... I'm getting too into it. I just pulled something. Have you ever had like a cramp here? Like right here? Oh my god, I have before. It's the worst. And you feel it. It's like it like tenses up. Oh my god, it is the worst. And I'm just like like opening my mouth to try and get rid of it. You're just an assistant. Then why don't we take a vote? All in favor of Nostalgia Drive? My hand shoots into the air. But nobody follows suit. Have you forsaken me, Daru? Mayuri?
Christian's right. It's too hard for me, Yushi, to remember.
Alright, we're gonna read this message, and that's going to be the end of the episode, guys. That's gonna be it. Part-time warrior. You don't want to know. Lamau. Yes, I do. Tell me about your past, goddammit. Tell me about your past, Suzuha. God damn it. I need to know. I need you to say it. I need you to fucking tell me. I need you to tell me. I am John Titor. You're right, Zack. You've been right about everything. You're right about the Jellyman. You're right about John Titor. And you're right about Kurisu eventually working for CERN.
Okay guys, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it. I need you to smash that motherfucking like button. Yeah, like that video. Yeah, you know those likes really help me out. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Vine, Google Plus. Yeah, share it. Smash that motherfucking like button. Whoa.
But really, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Don't worry about smashing the motherfucking like button. What did that like button ever do to you? Don't smash it, okay? It has a family. Leave it alone. Thanks for watching. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Is my hand on frame? It is on frame. Okay, cool. In frame, not on frame. In frame. Bye. Oh no, went off frame. Bye.